So, my guest host today is Amara Inya. How's everybody this morning? I'm rising and shining. There goes Miss Sonia. The man ain't here today.
The man ain't here.
So we about to get it cracking.
Crack-a-lacking.
I'm breaking all the rules.
Every rule that there is.
There ain't no rules.
There's no rules.
It's getting ready to be a morning madhouse.
Yes, it is.
In the den.
And I am on board.
You on board?
I'm on board.
You ready to rock and roll?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Look at the, come over here. Let me get the two Sonias.
You got the two Sonias.
I got the, look. Get up. Look at me. I'm flanked by the Sonias. One of y'all got to get on the other side, right?
It's a symmetry.
See, that's what I'm saying. I got symmetry. You know what I'm saying? We're getting it cracking this morning. Look at everybody got their hair done today. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it cracking. It's the WVO. You got the. You know what? You got your. You gotta get some color or something. You know what I'm saying? Even though I do
Who's
like
the co-host today? It depends.
The co-host today is Amara Inya. Oh, now nobody want to get their hair fixed up today, huh? I see how y'all doing. Y'all ready? What's up, Rich? Hey, Rich, you got to come out June 16th, Bolingbrook, man. We all coming back. We're going to have a good time. Let's get it cracking. It's a morning show. It's the morning show. Ooh, wee. All I could do is what I could do. Right? Love the one you with. It's the WVON morning show. Okay, let me get my... You know, as a young professional in the world, I just play the hands that's dealt me. I never change. Yeah, we got Janice Jackson on live today. Hold on. All right, y'all. Take a moment, share the broadcast.
Powering on. Welcome to Alltech Lansing.
Brother Anthony, I ain't seen you in a minute, man.
Interchange. We're seeing some minor stop-and-go traffic from Wolf to Harlem, outbound a 31-minute trip, and still light traffic on the Kennedy at this time. Base travel times from O'Hare to downtown and back again. Your bus stop temperature in the upper 60s this morning. A few sprinkles of rain under cloudy skies. Currently, we're looking at 68 degrees in South Shore, 68 at Midway, and 68 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON.
The lion is locked up in the man's office.
You're listening to the morning.
We be all right.
Maze Jackson on the Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Where you been, man? No more back, well, thank you. That's my ATL Connect. The world has changed. What up, Howard Trout? What up, Patai? What up, Erica Swain? What up, Anthony? Look, y'all, play the cards. I think Amara's my co-host today. She going her way. What up, Clarence Walker? It's coming. Boy, y'all don't miss a beat. The Lion to be back. I'm going to have to start pulling on my things back. What up, Antonio? What up, Kimberly Patton? What up, Tiger Lily? What up, Miss Susan Chaz, Mama Jackson? Big Swim, where you been at, man? We got work this week. What up, Sharon Holman Mayfield? Oh, I'm guest speaking at the brunch this Sunday in Bolingbrook. Let's get it ready. We got to change it. Just you and me. I never cheat on you. I'ma always be right here. Wake up, all the doctors make the old people well. Who suffer and who catch all the ill. What up, Aaron Muhammad? Before their judgment day, so won't you make them happy? We got a real show today. Dr. Janice Jackson. Tune in. Sammy, what happened to you? Saturday. If we all in the hand. They do it every time. Every time. Happy birthday, Howard Trout. Good morning, Chicago. Good morning, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Now, you know what? I think Amara Inya's supposed to be sitting in the hot seat today in the guest chair, but I think, I'm telling you, she on the plane from Wakanda. See, and when you go on the plane from Wakanda, sometimes they got to do some superhero saving. So I think Amara Inya will be here very shortly. But y'all, you know we got to get the soul plane up and off the ground at the WVON Morning Show. Got to say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Annette, how you feeling? A very quick start. Wait a minute, Annette. You know I gotta ask. Who in the heck is Frederick Douglass? The dog's name is Kidnapped. I bet you. Let me tell you. I don't know if you know, but are you gonna bring Kidnapped to the Taste of WVON? You should. Cause you. No dogs. Look, let me tell you, it's funny. She don't want no witnesses. It's like the baby can't come outside. The baby can't come outside. What you mean the baby can't come to the? You know it's gonna be so many people that want to come and see Kidnapped. You might be able to find Kidnapped's parents if you brought it out to the Taste WVON. Lorraine Dixon Park. You know you could walk up on stage. You can say, "Has anybody lost the tan dog?" See, I got that right. The tan dog. Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Hey, you know what? Gotta say what's up to Miss Sonia Escobar. She is the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. Sonia, how you feeling this morning? Does it feel like a Friday? You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all what. I am Captain Crack a Joke. You know I love a good laugh. I love edutainment. But today at 8 o'clock, y'all, we got some real serious business to take care of. And I only got 4 questions. I want to know how did this happen? What did you know? What are you and CPS going to do? And when are they going to do it? In case you don't know who I'm talking about, today at 8 o'clock, CPS CEO Dr. Janice Jackson will be with us talking about this series that we discussed, Betrayed, in the Chicago Tribune. Now, yesterday we had a reporter on from the Chicago Tribune breaking down the story, but y'all, we want some answers. We need to know what's going on. We know what happened, but I want to know what's going on. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I think when I listen, usually when there's an issue like this, we're looking for somebody to attack. But I think that this is one of those times when we got to rally the wagons around each other, circle the wagons and protect our kids. That has to be the first priority. So, y'all, I want to encourage everybody to tune in at 8 o'clock for CPS CEO Dr. Janice Jackson. You know how serious it is? It's so serious that there will be no yoga. It's that serious. I don't even want, I really am working to get all my smiles out now, because at 8 o'clock Chicago, we got to have a real serious discussion. You know, we talk about our kids and all of the violence that occurs and all of the things that are happening, but good God, we got to protect them in the schools. We have to. It's just incumbent upon us. And so you all tune in at 8 o'clock because we definitely want to make sure that you know that. Now, did you all know that Governor Rauner signed, he's been in office for almost 4 years. And for the first time in 3.5 years, he signed a balanced budget. I cannot wait to talk to Amara about that, because you know I want to know what's in it for the black people in this budget. But also, did you see that Dick Durbin is on the free ride bandwagon? He says that he would not oppose. As a matter of fact, he said that the sentence is too harsh. Now, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what. I know, you and I know that black folks love, I don't want to say black folks love Rod Blagojevich, but I think it would be nothing more poetic justice. There would not be any more poetic justice than for Rod Blagojevich to get freed by by Donald Trump. Now, can you imagine the release of Rod Blagojevich smack dab in the middle of the governor's race, leading up to the mayor's race? Do you understand the fireworks? And then I got a hint on this. Did you see J.B. Pritzker move $25 million into his campaign account? Another $25 million? I got a sneaking suspicion why. Because did you see the governor is about to release a new commercial. And guess what, y'all? Guess who's featured in it? J.B. Pritzker and none other than Rod Blagojevich. And guess who they are making fun of this time? They are making fun of Reverend Wright. God damn. You know what? I probably can't even say it. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's getting ready to be crazy this election cycle. Hey, man, this is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. We are waiting on Amara Enya to get in the building. Hey, Sonia, Annette, do either of you have cell phone addiction? I find myself reaching for my phone even when I don't need it. I find myself picking it up, looking, and it's got all these colorful lights, and then it just makes me, and it dings, and it bells, and it whistles, and sometimes I just can't put it down. There is an app for that. Did you see that? They have an app to stop your cell phone addiction. Well, actually, it's not to stop it. It's to curb it, right? Because they want you to stay addicted. They said in the ad, well, I'm going to tell you what. I have a problem. You know, I got a Facebook problem. I got a YouTube problem. You know what? I got a text problem. You know what I'm scared of, though? It says it can measure how many times you look at your phone. It can measure how long you look at your phone. I'm scared to see the reports. A Fitbit for your phone. Look, it's the WVON Morning Show. We got to go to traffic and weather. But when we come back, hey, y'all, did you hear about the cake? Literally, eat the cake, Annie Mae. We got a new story about this cake and the Supreme Court ruling around it. Hey, it's the WVON Morning Show. We'll be back after traffic and the weather. What's up, y'all? It's the WVON Morning Show. See, I write my morning script for a two-piece. So if the two-piece is a one-piece, then I got to rework my stories. So now I'm in one-person mode. Okay? See, I'm about to show y'all how I switch it up. Okay. How y'all feeling this morning? It's the WVON Morning Show. Let me say what's up to who's out here rocking with us. What up, Howard Trout? Happy birthday, my brother. What up, Devin? Excuse me, Divine. What up, Sammy Moe? What up, Dennis Evans? What up to Howard Trout? What up, Brother Patai? What up, Aunt Tennille? What up, Dr. Darlene M. Kennard? What up, Michael Bullock? What up, Anthony Robinson? Amina Hanan Muhammad. Emphasis on the Amina. What's up, Stephanie Falasha Masego? What up, Rick Good? What up, V Greasy? V Greasy. Boy. You know, it hit you with the slave throw with the curve. But you know your boy, he a hitter. All I got to do is get in the box. I just got to see one of the pitches, bro. Just got to see one pitch. Once I see the pitch, bam! Out the park. What's up, Anthony Robinson? What's up, Brother Patai? What's up, Daryl Murray? What up, Corey Mack, all the way down in Peoria? What up, James Matthews Jr.? What up, Dominic? Dominic, man, I didn't know you got moved to a lobbyist. Congratulations, man. AFSCME is lucky to have you. I hope Dree has something to do with that, man. Super proud of you, brother. Hey, y'all, Dominic Watson, another young brother to watch on the come up. What up, Principal Elenia Moore? June is here, so we got to get that in-studio program going on. What up, Angelica Hernandez Aiken? Now, look, y'all, to the den. You are the co-producers of the show today, so I'm going to need some content because I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? So, you back in the mix, so you got to get it fired up because I'm going in with it. All right, what up, Darlene M. Kennard? Oh, I got that. Ian J. Leverson. What up, Tamiko Holt? Tamiko, I'm doing it after I go, so it'll probably be in the afternoon because I got to go south before I come back. But I got it, and it's on my list, so I'm straight today. You don't even got to hit me. It's on my program. What up, Alvin E. Norton? What up, Johnny Diggs? What up, Juan Rangel? What up, y'all? Y'all ready? Y'all rocking with your man? Let's get it cracking. It's the WVON Morning Show. My lion is in the last office. What up? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Hey, did y'all see I got bootlegged? What y'all think about the bootlegging? Corey, I see you, man. What up, Mike Anthony? Shout out to the Bolingbrook OG. Hey, Mike. June 16th, we all out in Bolingbrook at the Bolingbrook Juneteenth. Come on out, man. Call all the old school. Donald Trump said no to the Eagles. And we're rolling, 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 rolling on the river, rolling on the river, rolling. Oh, rolling on the river. Amar, you better stop looking, get your money this soon to see that. You are tuned into the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Hey, we are waiting on Amara Inye to get in the studio. She is filling in today, but you know what? Got to say what's up to the morning show team. Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as Miss Sonia Escobar. Now, y'all, coming up, we're going to be talking about the Eat the Cake anime, but you ain't got to bake the cake, according to the Supreme Court. But before we get to that, how about your boy? So apparently Donald Trump has rescinded his invitation to the Philadelphia Eagles to come to the White House. Now, you know the brothers at the Philadelphia Eagles was like, apparently for black people at this point, when you get your championship, until Donald Trump is out of office, it's kind of like a well-known, understood fact for the brothers. You just not going. You get an invitation to the White House. I don't care if you win the Super Bowl, literally. You just don't go to the White House, not Donald Trump's White House. Well, apparently, over 30 players canceled or declined to come, leaving about only 10 willing to come to the White House. And apparently Donald Trump said, enough of that, busted. I'm rescinding all y'all invitations. Ain't now one of y'all coming. And instead, what we're going to do is have a celebration of the national anthem. And on top of it, he said, and you think that's staying in the locker room stuff? You think you think you get a pass on that? If you don't come out the locker room, you still disrespecting the flag and the national anthem. Donald Trump is putting the smack down around this piece. Now, y'all, I'm going to tell you. I think that Donald Trump is being very smart strategically. Right? Donald Trump is being very smart strategically from the standpoint that he is talking directly to his base. He is talking directly to his base, right? Who these rich Negroes think they are, running around here, got the nerve to be in our green land and playing on our football fields, on our TVs, talking smack that they won't stand up. You Negroes better stand up. And I feel like for white folks down south with the pitchforks, they like, who are these boys? These colored boys made all that money on the field, and now these boys don't want to stand up and salute. They all be lucky they ain't in Africa. You know what? I'll stand with that Donald Trump. And man, I'm telling you, Donald Trump is feeding the red meat to his base. And I feel like we walking right into it. There's got to be a more strategic way to deal with this issue. Y'all, because I feel like he's playing us. Now, I'm going to tell you, we have got to come up with a better strategy as it relates to how to deal with this NFL situation. Because I don't know if the white folks are getting it, and I don't know if we're making them feel the pain the proper way. I feel like this battle of the national anthem is almost unwinnable. Right? It's like, it's hard to argue. I know WVON listening audience is gonna get mad at me, but it's hard to sell an anti-patriotism argument. Because I think that the whole thing has become muddled. Right? And because it's not that important to some of us, it becomes an opportunity to divide. Now, wait a minute. What is that song? Do I hear the theme song? Do I hear? Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, there she is in the studio, bright, ready to go in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WVON Morning Show, the queen of the WVON Morning Show, Miss Amara. And Amara, welcome back from Wakanda. How you doing today?
I am doing fantastic.
Amara, it's good to see you today. You all set? You ready?
I'm definitely ready.
Now, you weren't at the Hyde Park Brewfest because your brother was here yesterday, and he came flying in. He thought we was under the old act, and then I was like, man, what is going on with it? You know what? We're going to have us it's time for a family meeting. Look, it's the WVON Morning Show. Hey, Amara, are you paying attention to the Supreme Court? Did you hear about this cake ruling?
Yeah.
I can't lie. I was like, finally. Like, one for the regular people. Like, it seems to me that in the United States now, there is something wrong with espousing traditional family values. And I felt like, sometimes I feel out of place in the world because I don't know. Like, I'd be like, oh, I can't say that. Oh, I mean, I didn't know that this was. And I felt like yesterday was not a return to normalcy, but at least like a affirmation that I ain't crazy, right? So when we come back, because we got to go to traffic and weather in the news, but when we come back, we're going to talk about this eat the cake anime, but you ain't got the bacon. The Supreme Court ruling it, we're going to ask the question, has it become a negative to have traditional family values in America? It's the Talk of Chicago, 1690. We'll be back after news, traffic, and the weather. I wasn't showing out at Brewfest, but I did have a nice time. Let me just tell you. Was you showing out at Brewfest? Why you, And let me just tell you, Chima came in here yesterday with the sweat. He came in here with so you know how you got the glow? Chima had the other glow. Chima, let me tell you, Chima came in here yesterday, and he came in here, and he sat in his chair, and I know the feeling, right? It's like you've been out. See, I left the Brewfest at 3 o'clock on Sunday.
3 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
We went on Saturday. We spent the night at the hotel. We got up, got something to eat, and then went to the Brewfest and then bounced out by 3 because I knew that once it started cracking, I was going to convince myself that I needed to leave. I mean, that I could stay. It's not that much time. So I was up. Chima came in exactly how I would have came in if I would have stayed. He came in at 3 minutes after 6, had his suit on, no tie, sweating. He had a shine, but it's not the Vaseline I just woke up shine. He got the I'm sweating this alcohol out shine, and every time I drink this water, it's coming out, right? And I was like, so I'm glad you're on that side, because I've been there, right? Because when you're there on that day, you know the alcohol be coming out. So it's like, I was like, Chim Dog, I was talking about your glow last week. His glow yesterday was like that's a different glow. I don't
have that glow.
No.
I have to talk to him about that.
Right. And we found out he was the baby brother yesterday.
Oh, you just found out?
You know what? That explains a lot, right? Because, that's why I be hating. Every time I see somebody, I be like, hey, Chim, you see this? He'd be like, we talked about that yesterday on air. That that our job we was going to have, yesterday was supposed to be a block session. We was going to get on the radio and just start talking about all the people that be like, Amara. I was like, Chima, we going to be blocking all day tomorrow.
Oh, man. So you missed DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yes. I saw Jazzy Jeff, I think, last year, and I've seen him at parties, and I know how good of a DJ is. It's funny because you don't really think of how good he is. You think of Will Smith and Fresh Prince, and then you be like, damn, and then but you forget that he really spawned. He spawned that what was the Philadelphia thing when it was Jill Scott, the Roots? Right. He actually spawned that, right? Because he had the label. Hold on, something is wrong with our internet. Give me a second. He spawned their label. I can't remember what that label was that he had, but he had the label where Jill Scott and all of them were on it. And then he was like one of the big reasons that the Philadelphia sound like kind of blew up. It was, who was it? Jill Scott, the Roots. Who else? It was the dude. Not Erykah Badu wasn't with them though. Erykah Badu was Kadar. Right. Like when all of that was happening, he was like really behind a lot of that. Ooh, my fault, bro. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Hidden Beach Records. That's it. Hidden Beach. Amina with the win. Look at that. Oh, Erica. Look, we got professional kind of. One of these days, you know what I'm going to do? For the breaks, we're going to do music trivia. Because I bet I got the people that know all. You can probably ask all the music songs, and they will ask. So, Amara, today, we got Janice Jackson at 8.
She's going to be
on the phone. On the phone. So really, I got 4 questions. How did it happen? What did you know? What are you and CPS gonna do and when? We're not taking calls, but those are. I'm just putting those 4 questions on the table straight up. Like when I walk out, when I open the mic, there's no yoga. There's no. And then I'm going to go. Now, if you want to interject, you know, you're more than welcome. The 4 questions are, how did this happen? What did you know personally? What are you and CPS going to do about it? And when are you doing it? Right? That's all. Like, and then, okay. When I think and I think, you know, like when I do that, and then I think you can be like right at that same point. And when, right? So then we can, because the fact of the matter is everybody that I've talked to around this has said she was like, holy, like CPS didn't even really know that this was happening. So like they were caught off guard, blindsided because of the way it was done. And it's so crazy because I feel like it's a norm. Like
the abuse?
Yes. In not just CPS, but I was talking about this yesterday, and it's a sensitive topic because like in some of those cases, like people have become married or whatever, but not everybody, but quite a few people were like, this is like, you knew about it in school, like.
Yeah, I mean, so I wouldn't say it was a norm, but I see what you're saying. I think the issue is how it was handled and how lax the district was and everything from cataloging these incidents to doing background checks on folks. So they were just lax.
We back. Woman so cool. Treat it like you're nothing when you're worth more than gold. Girl, you're $1 million diamond. I like the way you shine. There's $1 million treasures out of the world to make you mine. Well, the pearls right in your hand. J of jet like sand. The rain, we can do it all night. places he will not until he let you hide. It's pretty bitten when we touch, baby. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. Now, don't forget, it is Black Music Month, and that was from Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice, Joe. All the things your man won't do. Can I say something about Joe? Joe has to be one of the most underrated sneak-up artists on you of all time. Amar, why are you shaking your head? What you doing? Chima.
No, he is, though. He did a cover of Adele's song Hello that was 1,000 times better than her original song.
Now, when you from Wakanda, are you obligated to say that?
No.
I wish you could have seen your face when you said that. Hey, y'all, this is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me this morning is Amara Inya. Now, Amara, you know, I'm going to tell you, I was born in 1971. So I consider myself clearly now in the realm of my parents, right? Like, I am now clearly in the realm of my parents, and I must say that it has taken a lot for me to adjust to the realities of growing up now versus growing up when I was a kid, and applying the norms, the values, the morality, what I grew up with. Now, I'm not saying I don't. It's hard to implement the same things and hold your kids to the same standards. Like, I think about things like back in the day when you called, when I was growing up, it wasn't the cell phone, right? So when the phone rang, everybody in the house knew you got the call and how long you was going to be on the phone. But the world has just changed. And so one of the things that has changed is our perception on family values, traditional family values. Now, I grew up in a very right-wing Christian household. I'm talking about we wasn't dancing, we wasn't supposed to be seeing no movies, no cards, none of that stuff, which is probably why I went crazy when I got to college. But that's another story. And one of the things that has become part of the norm is, or the new normal, is the LGBT movement and gay rights, particularly, let's say, gay marriage. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. I don't, in my Jerry Seinfeld voice, not that there's anything wrong with it. But I am going to be honest. I have had some challenges in trying to normalize, explain gay marriage in my own mind, much less my kids, whatever. But one of the things that I think that it seems to me is that I feel like some of these moral issues have been forced upon us as people. I don't begrudge anybody their right to marry, male or female. At this point, it is what the law is, so I'm okay with it. But I don't feel like it has to be forced upon me. Well, did you see the story about the cake in the Supreme Court issue with the cake? Do you know background of it?
Yeah, so this is a case that came out of Colorado. It's dealing primarily with the issues of free speech. And so the issue was a business. There was a couple that requested to have a cake made for their wedding. And so a business, a bakery.
Two men.
Two gay men who were getting married had requested this cake to be made for the wedding. And the business owners refused. They did not want to make the cake on the basis of religious grounds. So they were arguing that it was against their religious beliefs to bake this cake for a gay couple, and so they refused to do that. This case went all the way up to the Supreme Court. And the two issues in the case were, there was the religious argument that was used by the couple, but there was also this argument around free speech and whether or not free speech rights were being violated if they were in fact compelled to make this cake for the couple that counted their religious beliefs.
So I watched this story, and one of the things that happened, how it got to the Supreme Court, is because at the two lower courts, the lower courts ruled that the baker was required to make the cake.
Right.
They not only did they require him to make the cake, but they really denigrated him for his religious beliefs. They used some very harsh language in saying, like, basically saying he was a racist and blah, 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 and a bigot, and it was just very inflammatory language. And it seemed like, to me, it's almost like if you have traditional family values, you are almost persecuted in this country at this point. It's like if you say, I do believe that marriage should be between a man and a woman, you are almost like, you can be, not want to say violated, but people will come against you for saying that you believe marriage is between a man and a woman, etc. But this case was ruled on behalf, for the first time, I felt like, in a long time, it expressed the values that it was okay for you to believe and have your own religious beliefs around this. And so I guess the question I want to ask is has it become a negative to have traditional family values in the United States?
Well, so the question is, what are traditional family values? I
knew it. No slavery. No. Yes, we know that there's. So take away white oppression. Take away all of that. Take away, I'm talking about straight up, like, man, you want to grow up with, you want your kid to grow up, marry a woman, or, get married, have kids, have a family, get a house, and I'm not suggesting that America's values, and not even America's values, I'm saying the values I grew up with from my parents.
Yes.
Why does it feel like those values are now wrong?
Well, so part of it is just where the country is, and there's always a process of really acclimating to a different cultural climate. But I think what was interesting in this case is Justice Kennedy. Now, for those who are less familiar with the breakdown of the Supreme Court, Justice Kennedy typically is the one who ends up casting the deciding vote, especially when the Supreme Court was more evenly divided. He typically casts the deciding vote. He has a very strong voice in this ruling, and I think what he was getting at in his opinion speaks to the question that you just asked. So this issue of the bakers actually having legitimate religious beliefs, and the ruling in the lower courts is what prompted Justice Kennedy to actually say he believed that they were overly hostile to the genuine religious beliefs.
That's my point. Like, you get ridiculed for saying, man, if you ask even questions about this, and I just feel like, what, Amara? I feel like when we look at you and we look at your family and we look at your outcome, there were some traditional family values that were instilled in you. I don't know whether they was African, Wakandan, Cretan, I don't know. There were some traditional family values that were instilled in you. And I feel like even questioning that is what I'm talking about. Like, that don't count no more. Like, everybody just got here without anybody saying, this is right, this is wrong. And so, y'all, have we lost our traditional family values? And I'm saying, I know we can go super deep, right? But I would like to take it up just a level. Like, I'm not talking about the white oppression I'm talking about grandma and them.
Yeah, so what it means is that what the decision means and what Justice Kennedy's opinion means, at least in my view, is that it is an affirmation of the fact that your genuinely held beliefs should not be infringed upon, that your free speech First Amendment rights should not be infringed upon, even if they are unpopular, right? So if the popular movement is to support same-sex marriage, which is fine, but also it doesn't mean that those who do not believe that should be marginalized. And I think that was what Justice Kennedy's opinion meant in this decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Amara, and I'm your host, Maze Jackson. You are listening to the Talk Chicago. It's the social media question of the day. We'll be back. So that's my point. Like, I feel like we can get, and I need, like in this case, we can get way deep, and you know, traditional American values meant beat your women, blah blah. You know, keep them barefoot and pregnant, all that. But I mean, those values, those things that were right and wrong, that we didn't even like. If I said that 10, 15 years ago, you would know what I meant. You wouldn't have to add all the subtext to it because of us now being so super hyper politically correct. And when I say, how come the Indians turned out the way that they turned out, y'all can be like, Mama said, right? So if you know that, and part of that was not Adam and Steve, right? I don't know if everybody was coached that way, but I'm just saying.
But it also, so it speaks to the issue also of the transgender bathroom issue. So I don't know if you remember when that was the big thing, or whether they should have transgender bathrooms. And the notion that someone would object to having a transgender bathroom, where like if you have a daughter or if you have a son and you're sending them into the bathroom, it's a transgender bathroom, and there might be concerns about that. So I remember that was a big conversation, and it was the same thing. Like folks were saying, well, I'm not comfortable with that, but feeling as though their ability to have even an opinion on it was now being infringed upon because the popular sentiment, what seemed to be the popular sentiment, was that these transgender bathrooms should be okay. So I kind of see parallels with that, and even with this issue, to where if you find that it seems that you're going against the grain now, right, that your opinion as to what's traditional might seem like it's in the minority, then how does the court, in this case, make sure that they can protect your ability to have that opinion? And I think Justice Kennedy, his statement, his opinion actually reinforces the fact that they were genuine in their religious beliefs, and the hostility toward their religious beliefs was a problem for him. And I think that's why he was like...
He said, I would stop baking wedding cakes altogether. Then, if you're going to make me, and he lost 40% of his business. Now, see, here's my thing. And even when it comes to white-only counters and people saying that was the same argument, you make it economics. The reason that the white restaurant owners could have separate counters is because your ass went to the back black door. Now, if there is a whites-only restaurant and a open restaurant, and we choose to patronize it, then that's one thing. But if you go to the other option, economics will force. You ain't got to sit him in. He either going to be put out of business. And if I don't want to have to expand my business to put a transgender bathroom in it, and it means I lose the transgender audience, and I live in and I'm in Boys Town with my business, that's a choice that I'm making, and it's going to have an economic repercussion. I feel like they are really... I just feel like you can't express traditional family. Like, the way I grew up, it's almost like if I don't want my kid to watch two dudes kissing, I'm bogus. Like, that's the way it is. Well, not where we from.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the First Amendment it's supposed to protect everyone. Regardless of where you fall on that spectrum in terms of, what you may consider traditional versus what someone else may consider traditional. The problem is when the courts or when the laws favor one or the other, or infringe on one or the other. So they can say, for example, if the court is mandating like the laws against miscegenation, or black and white or mixed race couples, then it's infringing on one right against another. But in this case, what Justice Kennedy is saying, what the court is essentially saying is,